Yeah. So it's right around 1:45 a.m. on Saturday, August 26th. And as I just mentioned in a video I just made, my brain has just put pause on everything I was doing throughout the evening. So now I'm sitting here and I'm analyzing stuff because thankfully my brain is normal and healthy, and it has pause buttons for pretty much everything so that I don't become obsessed with stuff that, might not be good for me or just might become dysfunctional after a while of me doing it or watching it or eating it or whatever. So throughout the evening, I was trying to watch a new TV show that I've recently discovered that is really, really good. And it's just fantastic. And I was going to try to do like a 6-hour marathon and try to get through the first season. But after 1.5 episodes of watching that show, my brain was just done. Like, it couldn't watch it anymore. And I wanted to keep watching it. I kept trying to force myself. I was like, no. Let's just try to make it through the second episode. And it's like, no, I can't. My brain was no longer able to process that show. And so I stopped watching it, and I got up and washed some dishes and did something else. And that's how you know your brain is normal, because it has pause buttons to let you know when you've been doing something for too long and it might not be good for you anymore, or it might be becoming dysfunctional. I have the same thing with food. So I can't eat too much of anything because I get sick of it pretty quickly. Even if I absolutely love that food, it's like I just know when I'm done. Chocolate, I can't eat. I love chocolate, but after just a few pieces, I'm like, ugh, too sweet. Oh my God, just stop. And my brain just shuts down. It does not want to eat chocolate anymore. Same thing with anything that I drink. That's why I don't really drink alcohol, because after like one glass, I'm done. It's like, that's plenty. I can't do it anymore. Anyway, so now I'm just lying here because I'm kind of run out of things that I can do in this unit besides cleaning. And I can't clean at 1:45 in the morning. That might piss off the neighbors, and they're violent to begin with. So I'm analyzing things. One of the things that I'm analyzing is this it's, a divine connection basically that I have with somebody who is married. I know this person just sort of peripherally through a business connection kind of situation. And I knew I was picking up on these signs that this person was interested, even though they wear a wedding ring. And there was not just signs, like physical signs that this person was interested, but there was already a connection there. So even before I met them, there was a really intense connection and instant chemistry. And it's like, that person already, even though you just met them. And I've been wondering about this whole connection recently, because I saw this person a couple weeks ago, and, again, they're married, but they were acting really interested. And then I saw them more recently, and then all of a sudden the whole situation had flipped and they were no longer interested. And okay, so they're married, and married people, obviously, like, they're not going to make you their priority. They have a full plate in front of them already. So whatever's going on in that person's marriage or domestic life or whatever, it has nothing to do with me. However, I just realized that this person was interested in me. I was right. They were interested in me. Absolutely. Definitely interested. All green lights, right? But the reason that they were interested was not what I thought it was. And it's because they thought I was a hooker. Which is the funniest thing, because if there's anyone in this building complex who is most definitely not a hooker, it would be me. I can't remember last time I even had like a date. And the reason for that is that I keep experiencing these divine connections that are, sort of spiritual and not physical. And they are actually more exciting and fulfilling than physical relationships that actually can get a little awkward. And this connection with this married person who I see once in a while just for business purposes was there. I was right. I mean, I kept asking myself, like, he's married. Why in the world would he be interested? What is going on? And I was right. But he thought I was a hooker. And then when I I think I made it clear that I wasn't a hooker. Maybe he did some research. And when he realized that I wasn't a hooker, then the entire situation just flipped 180 degrees. And then it was like, it went from blazing hot, middle of July heat wave summer to life on the tundra on the South Pole in Antarctica, right? And that's fine. I mean, I think it's funny because it's like, oh, I was right. He was interested in me, and there was a lot of interest there. Like, he was interested, but he thought I was a hooker. That's why he was interested. Oh my God. I just can't that's good. That's really good. So, my observations are usually spot on. I'm not bragging. That's just a fact. I have been extensively educated and trained in 2 separate fields of science to immediately notice, observe, analyze, and document abnormalities. So I have a Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences, and I did cancer research, tumor biology, autoimmune drug development in the biotech industry and at Harvard Medical School for 18 years. And you get paid a lot of money to notice little teeny tiny abnormalities in microscopic samples of stuff that you're getting paid a lot of money to analyze, right? So that's, analysis skill number 1. My second degree is a master's via a PhD in clinical developmental psychology. So I spent 5.5 years in a full-time PhD program for clinical psychology, which is the analysis, diagnosis, and treatment of mental health disorders and behavioral dysfunction. So I'm kind of a double threat in 2 separate fields of science when it comes to analyzing and noticing abnormalities. And you get paid a lot of money to notice abnormalities that other people would miss, including law enforcement, including people who should be noticing these things, but are either too stupid to notice them or just don't want to bother. So I was right when I noticed that there was a connection with this married guy, who, again, I only know peripherally through business connections. I don't know him personally or socially. I've never, hung out with him or anything. And I kept wondering, why in the world is this married guy? Why is there so much interest there? Like, is his wife, is she having affairs on her end? Like, what's going on? No, he thought I was a hooker. And I guess a lot of married guys think, oh, it's okay if I cheat on my wife with a hooker because a hooker is a hooker, right? Like, that's just not a big deal. I guess it's different if they have passionate affair with one of their coworkers, but they feel like it's okay to cheat on their wife with a hooker. Except that I've never been a hooker in my life. Never have been, never will be, have never even come close, never considered it, never had to be. I've always been able to earn a fantastic living with my master's degree education and my scientific and, psychology backgrounds. I've never even had to go near the thought of being a hooker. So the fact that this guy thought I was a hooker is just hysterically funny. And it just goes to show that there's a lot of crazy rumors out there about me. The cops are convinced that I'm completely insane. And there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever to support that, except for what I report is insane to them because it's unusual. But again, I live in a building that is filled with criminally insane, unusual psychopaths with a lot of criminal tricks in their bag of crime. So that is not normal, and that's not me being crazy. That's just me reporting the crazy. But when law enforcement, they're probably very busy. They don't have time to sort through who you are, who the next person is. They maybe get a lot of crank calls or whatever. Okay, fine. Fine. If I'm reporting something and it sounds crazy to them, they want to think that I'm crazy, that's on them. But they're not making the distinction between somebody reporting other people's crazy and the reporting person being crazy. But I knew I was onto something once again with this guy. I knew I was right. I knew there was a connection there, that he was really interested, and his interest completely disappeared as soon as he realized I am not a hooker, and I'm not. I never was, never will be, never came close. There's a lot of stupid people who like to believe a lot of stupid things about me, apparently, but none of them are true, and they're just letting their stupid show as usual. So, yeah, I was right. So that guy, now I know, and I was right.